Welcome to this tutorial showing you how to create a piece of artwork in response to the artist Micaela Lattanzio. And you'll see in Photopea I have already opened up a photograph of myself. And the first thing I'm going to do is go to Image Adjustments, Hue, Saturation, and bring up the saturation just a little bit to make my image a bit warmer. Okay, next up I want to start taking away bits of the background. So I'm going to use the polygonal lasso tool to start cutting away a mask around the edge of me from shoulder level up to about the center of my ear, back down and around, and then I'm going to press delete, and that's going to get rid of that area. And then I'm going to do the same this side, polygonal lasso tool. I'm going from roughly around my nose area down and just neatening up the edge of my beard to make it a bit cleaner, and then over and back up, and same again, delete, and that gets rid of that area. Okay, I don't need to worry about the top and the bottom because I'm going to be applying my effect to those areas. Okay, right, just going to zoom in, and I'm now going to create that jagged effect that the artist has as her portrait begins to fracture into pieces. So again, I'm using the polygonal lasso tool, and I'm just clicking on points to make a kind of jagged effect. And that's across my face, and then I'm just going to go quickly up and around and down and over. But this time I don't want to just press delete, I want to press Control C first to copy it, then I'm going to press delete and then Control V, and that's going to put that I've just cut onto its own layer. Now I can make it invisible, but what I really want to have it there for is for later on when I want to use it to get bits of my face and head to make the hexagonal shapes. Okay, right. Now I want to apply the same effect to the bottom of my head, but I'm going to use the pen tool this time, mainly because I want to apply the jagged effect to my beard. But then when it reaches my neck, I want to actually make a nice curve, a lot like the artist does. So I'm using the pen tool to be able to click and then drag that nice curve. And then I'm going to, same again as I did with the mask, just click around the outside and go back to the first point. Now I have that shape that I want, but it hasn't cut anything yet. So I'm going to grab the magic wand tool and just click that shape so it takes that area. I'm then going to go to the layer that has my portrait on it, and I'm going to do the same as last time. Control C to copy it, press delete, and then Control V to paste it in. Okay, so I now have 3 layers. I have the middle of my head, and I have the 2 invisible top and bottom layers ready to use at a later point. Okay, before I start adding any effects, I just want to make myself a bit smaller. So I've grabbed all those layers, and I'm just going to use the arrow tool and the shift key just to resize myself, so I have more room to put the effect above and below me. I'm just going to make those bits invisible again, just to see where my head is, and just raise it a little bit. That will do. Okay, right, next up, I'm going to start adding the fragmented effect. So I need to make a new layer, drag that down to the bottom, and I'm going to use this kind of bluey grey colour and the paint bucket to fill that layer. So I have a background colour to work on, and I can now start adding my effect. So I'm going to go to this top layer just here, and I'm going to zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to go to the shapes and choose the parametric shape tool. Make sure I've got 6 sides and any color fill with no stroke. And I'm just going to draw that shape. Maybe that's a little bit big, so I'm going to shrink it a little bit. Roughly a mid-size of what I need for the different fractured bits. And I'm going to use this to help me to create my fractured parts. So I'm going to mask off that shape, and then I'm going to move the mask to the part of my head that I want to copy. And I'm going to go to that layer, and I'm going to press Control C and then Control V, and it gives me that shape on its own layer. Okay, and I'm going to keep doing this a few times. Mask off that shape, choose an area on my face that I want to copy, go back to my face layer, press Control C, Control V, and again I have that on its own layer. Okay, and I'm just going to keep repeating that. So mask off the shape, and then grab the mask and put it somewhere on my face. Make sure I've selected the layer that my face is on, then press Control C and Control V to copy that part. Okay, and I'm just going to rinse and repeat that a few times so that I have a number of different hexagon shapes taken from various parts of my head to be able to create the kind of fractured effect with them. Okay, I think if I do one more, I should have enough of a variety. There you go. You can see all the different shapes that I have now created on their various layers. And I can now use the arrow tool just to begin repositioning these and resizing them wherever I like, to begin to create that kind of effect of my head fracturing and dissipating upwards and across the page. Okay, at a point you're going to start to want duplicating them, so right clicking on their layer and going to duplicate layer. And just to make sure I have some variety in the various shapes that I have fracturing from me, I'm just going to take some of those hexagons from the central part of my head as well. So I have some kind of bits from my rosy cheeks and from the sides of my face. Not many, just a few, but they'll add a little bit more variety to the various fragments, as they're a slightly redder hue. Okay, so it's a case of doing exactly the same again, making them big, making them small, fitting them into spaces, and if I want, I can duplicate these. So I can take one that I like, go to its layer, right click on it, duplicate layer. I think it's important to rotate them as well so they feel like different areas of the face. You don't want there to look like too much repetition, so obviously moving duplicated layers away from each other as well is a good idea. Right, the artist also overlaps some of these shapes, so I'm just going to show you how to overlap shapes. So I'm going to overlap these two, okay? First thing I need to do is make sure I know which two layers these are. So on the bottom layer, I'm going to go to the layer and I'm going to click on the writing and I'm going to type in bottom, so I know it's the bottom layer, okay? I'm then going to go to the top layer and do the same, click on the writing and write top. Okay, that enables me then to drag top and put it with bottom. in terms of the layers, so they're next to each other. Okay, I'm then going to duplicate the top layer so I have a copy of that before merging top and bottom together, because I want those two shapes to be together. So I'm going to right click and merge layers. Okay, and then on the top layer that I just created, I'm going to go to drop shadow, and I'm going to move the direction and the opacity and the distance and the size to a point where it looks like there's a shadow of the top one over the bottom. Okay, once you're happy with the shadow, you can click OK, but you'll see you're left with this shadow on the background, and you don't really want that. So you right click on that top layer and you go clipping mask, and it clips that shadow to the shapes underneath. You then want to select both those layers and then merge them together, and that gives you those two shapes together. So you can duplicate those again if you want to, swivel them round, use them somewhere else, maybe make them a bit smaller. Okay, so that's how you create some of the shapes looking like they're overlapping. I'll just show you again. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this layer, I'm going to put it on top of this shape here. All right, so as per last time, this top shape, I want to call it top. So I'm going to type top there, and I'm going to find the bottom layer, and I'm going to type bottom. And then because they're top and bottom, it means I can find them, and I'm going to drag bottom, so top and bottom are together. And then I'm going to duplicate the top layer before merging top and bottom together. And then on that top layer, I'm going to do the same again, drop shadow, and then change the settings to however I want them to be, click OK, and then right click on that layer and click clipping mask. Okay, and that puts the shadow just on the layer below, and then I can merge those two layers together, and I have another couple of shapes layered over each other. Okay, you don't have to layer all of them, but it gives you a nice mix of some layered and some not. Okay, now I'm not going to bore you with the rest. I'm going to cut away, and I'm going to come back having done all of the other shapes at the top there. And it does take some time, but you can see the effect looks pretty good. What I'm going to do now is just take all of those layers, and I'm going to select all of them, and I'm going to right click and merge those layers. Okay, I would also advise you to save at this point so that you have this, and if anything goes wrong, it's all sorted and you've already got it saved. Okay, right, now we're going to do the bottom of my head and the same effect. So we're grabbing the same shape that I used earlier, that I've had hidden, masking it off with the magic wand tool before moving that mask onto my beard, selecting my beard layer, and then pressing Ctrl C and Ctrl V to copy and paste that particular mask. And I'm just going to repeat that a few times so that I have several parts of my beard ready to create that fragmented effect. Obviously, the more areas you copy and paste, the more variety you'll have when it comes to creating your fragmented effect. But I think 5 or so is enough. Okay, so I'm just going to move those out of the way down to the bottom and bring my face back again so I can see what I'm doing. And then in the same way as I did with the top of my head, I'm just going to now move these into position so it looks like they are fracturing and falling away or floating away towards the edges of my piece. Okay, and this is exactly the same as how I did the top of the head, shrinking, rotating, and positioning the various fragments and duplicating them and overlapping them in exactly the same way. Right, I'm going to cut away and return back. Now I have done the bottom as well. Okay, and same as I did before, I'm just going to right click and select all of the beard elements and merge those layers together. And now I have just one last thing I want to do, and that is to create some shadow. So I'm going to double click on my top layer with all of the top fragments on, go to drop shadow, and make sure I have the settings that I want to make it look like they are casting a shadow underneath onto the grey background. I would suggest the distance be quite high, you want them to really stand out from the background. Once you're happy with that, right click on the layer, go to layer style and copy, and that means you can then on the other layers select them and then go layer style and paste, and it puts the same shadow effect that you had on the top onto the bottom two layers. And that is this piece done and dusted. I hope you find this tutorial helpful.